There we go. Thank you, team, so much for jumping on the call today. I appreciate it. Today's call, Monday Morning Pep Talk, episode number 211. Take flight, identify your three rocks of marketing, and execute. And I'll get into that in just a minute, but I want to remind you of my professional purpose, and that is to help you, the broker advisor, optimize your productivity and help you become the best version of yourself. Why? Because happy brokers sell more real estate. And I do that by helping you handle challenges and opportunities that you face every single day. And if you can effectively manage certain situations that arise on a daily basis in your business, you'll be more productive and live a life that is the best version of you. My ask for you today is that you listen to this call as if you're in a one-on-one coaching session with me in my office or on the phone. I think it's a great way to listen to it. So on this 211th episode of my Monday Morning Pep Talk, I will walk you through a process I came across randomly in 2013 that is a foolproof way to identify your marketing strengths. Continue to stress test it each year by looking for a better option, but have yet to find it. The goal is to find 3 lead generation strategies that will garner your complete focus, okay? And to drop new clients into your transaction processes, right? Where 1 equals 3, and to grow the quality and quantity of your database. During the reinvention of my life and business between 2008 and 2014, I became a voracious learner during that period of time. And one of my virtual mentors was, and still is Darren Hardy. And between 2007 and 2015, he was the publisher for Success Magazine and also wrote a book named The Compound Effect, both which became vital to my growth during that period of time. Success Magazine at that time had a CD enclosed as part of the publication. I know that I'm dating myself, but just 10 short years ago, we had CDs in the Success Magazine. And in March of 2013 of that magazine, he interviewed Barbara Corcoran, and Barbara's time with Shark Tank is well documented, but in 1973, she founded Corcoran Group, a real estate firm based in New York, and then sold it in 2001 to NRT Realogy, which, as you guys know, is now called Anywheres. She told a story that I'll never forget about her response when her agents would come to her in a panic when their pipelines were low, and they would ask her how they should increase their business. Note, as a leader, manager, coach, I get these questions all the time, especially this time of year in October, November, and December. She came up with a very simple and brilliant answer. She said, go back through your last 25 closings and track back to where those transactions originated. If it was a referral, keep going back until you find the point of origination and focus only on what you've done in the past that works for you. I heard this story and the light bulb went on, and it was just like boom, like a lot of old school methods, as you know, still work today. But with the advancements of technology, digital advertising, and social media, they've really changed the landscape as it relates to your lead generation. So as we look at these old school techniques, right, like the Barbara Corcoran method, like I'm displaying here today or discussing here today, or the 12-week year, which was also written in 2013, these methods still very much apply to a business that we are operating today. And like I said, the Barbara Corcoran method, as I've termed it within Take Flight, is still very much an effective approach identifying the what, okay? What marketing should I be doing? Everybody has different strengths. And when you go back and you do this process, you will identify those things that you're best at. So here's your homework, okay? Go back over the last 25 transactions you've completed or the last 2 years and track. I kind of almost tend to get a tick mark out, and you tick where those transactions came from originally. Again, we call this the point of origination or the seed of a referral tree. Pick the top 3, which I call the 3 rocks of marketing, and recommit to those areas that have become your strengths over the years. You want to become an expert, further commit to becoming an expert in these areas and go all in. Some of your top lead generation strategies will include. And before I get into that, I want to let you know that I've seen people do this and they look at where their business had come from over the years. And in some cases, they have strayed way far away from those areas. And that's the power of going through and doing this because it helps you analyze where your strengths are. So, like I said, some of the top lead generation strategies will include social media, brand building, getting a lot of leads off of Instagram and Facebook. It's almost becoming the search engine for agents. Two, direct business off your listings, online leads, sign calls, PR, etc. Invest money in the launch of your listings because there is a real correlation to lead generation as it relates to marketing your listings. Number three, open houses. Team, 45% of my database came from people that I met at open houses or were referred to me by people I met at open houses. 45%. So, needless to say, when I did this, I kept commitment to working open houses, and they still work today. There's a whole strategy around it. And in my case, what I really focused on was if I did 6 to 8 open houses a month, my goal really was just to come out with 2 solid buyers or sellers. And over the course of the year, if I took that over 12 months, that's 20 to 25 real active buyers that went in my hot list, and many of them closed. Okay, so open houses is an old school approach, but it still very much works. Okay, your personal sphere. Many people who do this find that a lot of their original closings and transactions came from people that are in their world. Okay, so you'll find that when you do this, many of you will find that this is an area that you get a lot of introductions and original, leads that will come to you. Referrals, out of market and local referrals. What I mean by this is if you are someone who actively puts time and effort into meeting people in other markets, which is very much part of our culture at Sotheby's International Realty, that has become a big lead generation opportunity, especially for those of you that are in second home markets, resort markets. I've seen as high as 60 and 70% of someone's business comes from referrals outside of their area. And that is an active lead generation strategy. It's also a good strategy, too, for those of us that are pushing out referrals and introductions into other markets. Number 6, geographic farming, which could be direct mail, expired and canceled listings. Now, this is if you're someone who focuses on being super hyper local and dominating a very, niche hyper local market, this is a very, very powerful part of your business. And you'll find that just living and being in your market and focusing on geographic farming could be really important. For some of you that live in big cities, you might have a big presence in a certain building or a set of buildings. And if you've had a lot of success doing that in the past and you've not focused on that here recently, it might be something you want to think about. Online lead conversion, which website marketing, purchasing leads, digital marketing, et cetera, part of some brokers' lead generation strategies. That can get a little expensive at times, but for some people that can convert online leads, it's an option. Direct mail, vanity marketing, publishing, which would be like, magazine, print marketing, again, can be very, very expensive. But it is a way that some people, not very many people anymore, as only about 7 to 8% of the population read magazines and direct mail. So that is that one marketing technique has been replaced a little bit by digital, social media, et cetera, especially social media. So, but there are still people that will find that to be helpful. Industry networking, volunteer work, charity boards. I can't tell you how many people I've seen go back through their top 20 or their last 25 or 2 years and find that original piece of business originated from their effort in networking groups, and charity boards, et cetera. So something to think about and look for if that is something that has been popular for you in the past. And number 10, your personal networking, which is your time at your local gym, clubs, place of worship, being out in public, at your local school where your kids go attend, walking your dog. We've joked that having a dog and walking your dog in your neighborhood is a really good lead generating source. So as you go through and you track where your leads have come from a point of origination, that is just 10 areas that you can start with. And you'll find that 3 of them, in some cases 1 or 2, really emerge as the areas that you need to focus on. And then you look at yourself and say, am I really putting the effort towards those 2 to 3 areas that I need to? And in many cases, you're not. So this is a process that you can recommit to the marketing that works for you. Pro tip. In today's world, I really believe that everyone needs a consistent social media brand building strategy in today's world if you want to compete. It is where people are getting their content. Testament to that, when people are at a stoplight, right? They're not looking at billboards anymore. They're not looking at street benches. When they hit the brake, the stoplight, they're looking down at their phone, which means that's where the eyeballs are at. Okay. And 70 to 80% of the people are finding they're making purchasing decisions based on digital and social media branding. So if you have not committed to that, that is something that you must do. So why do I call these areas your 3 rocks of marketing? If you watched the video last week that I attached to my weekly email, Stephen Covey talks about the big rocks and how so many people get focused on insignificant strategies that just do not work. So when I call it the 3 rocks of marketing, this is your ability to identify what those big rocks are, and everything else you want to, I don't want to say ignore, but not put near the attention into. And you're focused here on your return on investment on your time spent, right? So if you can go all in on 3 marketing strategies that will drop new buyers and sellers into the top of your sales funnel, you will be way ahead of the curve in terms of your competition. The key is focused effort on the strategies that work for you. Focused effort on the strategies that work for you. So my simple advice to you today as it relates to your marketing and lead generation: identify what works and execute. Team, this is all going to be in the email tomorrow. It comes out between 7 and 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you're not on that email, you can go onto my Instagram at Ask Jim Miller, and in the profile, there's a link where you can sign up for it, and I'll add you to the email, and I'll send the latest email to you upon my getting your name and information. So thank you so much, everybody, for jumping on. I appreciate it. We'll be back at it next week, and have a wonderful week, everybody. Talk soon.